Today's discussion, we will be discussing about one of the very important indicator called as relative strength. Any sector which you are investing or any stock which you are investing, rather than investing just because of some qualitative factors or fundamental factors of the company, it is very important to see whether is the stock stronger than the overall benchmark, right? Let's say for us the benchmark index is Nifty 50, right? So if Nifty 50 in the last 6 months, let's suppose has given 15 percentage profit, right? 15 percentage it has advanced Nifty 50, right? You need those companies where it has overperformed the benchmark, right? We do not want to be in those companies which are like laggards. Rather, we will be in those companies which are leaders. So today we will use relative strength as an indicator and identify the stocks which are stronger than Nifty. Similarly, we can analyze the sector. If you're able to analyze, yes, particular X sector, pharma as a sector, if it is stronger than Nifty 50, yes, in pharma, I can take more bets. Let's say IT sector is flat or having or showing less strength than your Nifty 50. So IT is a sector where I will enter selectively. Maybe only few companies in the IT sector which are stronger, I will enter. So you will be able to differentiate which sector you can ride more and which sector you have to be little light. So what we will do, let's jump into a trading view and let's see how we can plot them, right? How we can plot them. Yeah. So as you see my screen, so in trading view, let us suppose I'm analyzing a company called as ICICI Bank, right? ICICI Bank. So now the question is, are you looking at this stock for long term or short term? So ICICI Bank, SBI Bank, HDFC Bank, all these banks, Axis Bank, sir, I'm looking at like more than 1 year tenure, more than 3 years, 5 years. So it is for long term. So what do? We check them on weekly and monthly time frames, long term stocks. Let's say, sir, I am analyzing like Union Bank of India or Karur Vaishya Bank, right? Karur Vaishya Bank, or even Canara Bank, right? So these are some of the banks where instead of a very longer term, we look for short term, right? We look for short term, wherein yes, it is slowly coming to the breakout levels. And even yesterday, Canara Bank has broken the immediate resistance from almost February levels, right? 580 levels it has broken, which is good. Similarly, your Union Bank, right? Yeah, Union Bank of India at a very good resistance level. In the last couple of days, yes, it is picking up some good strength, right? Karur Vaishya Bank. So you have been analyzing some banks. So you wanted to know which bank I should enter, right? Which bank I should enter. What we will be doing, uh, Union Bank of India, yes, I'm looking on a short term. So I'll be looking under daily time frame. So before entering into Union Bank, I wanted to check whether is it relatively stronger with respect to the Nifty 50 or not. So what I will do, I'll go to indicators, I'll go to technicals, and in technicals, I'll be loading relative strength, right? Relative strength is the indicator name. You can even favorite it. And this is an indicator by modulus, right? So there is a difference between relative strength indicator and relative strength index. Both of them are different, right? RS and RSI. So RSI, we will look at it later. So today we are focusing on relative strength by modulus. Okay. So yes. So what I will do, I'll be selecting relative strength and I've loaded RS. Okay. So I'm looking Union Bank of India's strength with respect to the overall Nifty 50. But by default, if you click on settings here, right, S&P is loaded. We are not going to compare our stocks with Standard and Poor, S&P index, no. So we will go to the settings part and in the symbol, we will change it to Nifty 50, right? We are changing it to Nifty 50, right? So what happened now? You are comparing Union Bank of India. This is the entire stock price of Union Bank of India, and that we are comparing with Nifty 50. So whatever the dotted line you are seeing here, so this is your Nifty 50, this entire dotted line. And this particular graph represents Union Bank of India's strength, right? Union Bank of India's strength. Now, what we will do, if you are observing any stock for short term, which is in daily time frame, right? Remember this. This is something you have to remember. So this is on daily time frame. You have to change your period, right? You have to change your period. So what I will do in a daily time frame, I'll be looking at 123 days, which is almost like 6 months, like that, right? 6 months. So in a daily time frame, I'll be keeping the period as 123 days, Nifty as the benchmark, and this dotted line, if it is not very clear for you, what you can do, we can go to style and go to level and increase the thickness here, right? In level, you can increase the thickness and click on OK. So what is that you're able to observe here? You're able to observe, yes, Union Bank of India is relatively stronger than Nifty 50. Yes, so this is stronger than Nifty 50. If you look at Canara Bank, right? Canara Bank, yes. Canara Bank compared to Nifty 50, yes, it is almost stronger from September onwards. And even from September, if you see, it has given wonderful return, right? We are looking on a shorter time frame. In 123 days, on 123 days as the period for time frame, right? Even let's check at Karur Vysya Bank, which are some of the banks which are showing some good strength, right? Good strength. Yeah, Karur Vysya Bank is also relatively stronger. Sir, now I wanted to look at long-term stocks, maybe in the banking space. So we will go to weekly time frame. And what do I do? Maybe like ICICI Bank. I'll be selecting ICICI Bank here. Okay. And remember, when we are loading on a weekly time frame, your settings of relative strength period should be 52 weeks, which means last 52 weeks, we are observing the relative strength of ICICI Bank with respect to Nifty 50, right? So if you're remaining with 123, it will be going back to 123 weeks, right? So we are looking at last 52 weeks. So change this to 52. Just to remember very easily, on a daily 123, on a weekly 52 weeks, on a monthly 12 months, right? This is the ideal settings which you can follow to understand the relative strength. Okay. So yes, Nifty 50 and 52 weeks is the period I've selected. So yes, relatively, if you look at ICICI Bank, right? ICICI Bank on a weekly time frame with respect to Nifty 50, it is at the Nifty 50, right? It is slowly picking up strength, right? It is slowly picking up strength. Sir, now should I enter into ICICI Bank, or should I enter into HDFC Bank, or should I enter into Kotak Mahindra Bank? Right? If you see HDFC Bank on a weekly 52 weeks, it is relatively weak than the overall Nifty 50, right? So given an option to enter between HDFC and ICICI, I feel ICICI is a little better, right? If you look at Kotak Mahindra Bank or even your SBI, right? The same example, whatever we are discussing in banking, you can implement in any sector which you are observing. Even on the sectors, we will move, right? So Kotak Mahindra Bank, relatively weaker than Nifty, right? SBI, Axis Bank, right? Yeah. Axis Bank, any bank you can check, right? Yeah. State Bank, SBIN, right? Yeah. SBIN. Yeah. Okay. State Bank of India. Yes. On a large cap space or for a long term, SBI is relatively stronger with respect to Nifty 50 compared to HDFC or even your Kotak Mahindra Bank, right? So this is how you will be able to analyze the relative strength. Daily period, we will be selecting 123 days, weekly 52 weeks, and monthly 12 months. Now the wonderful part, sir, apart from the stocks strength, I wanted to know the overall sectoral strength, right? Overall sectoral strength. So what I will do, I'll be opening up nseindia.com, right? I'll be opening up nseindia.com or even Screener, right? If you wanted to look at the sectors related, any platform you can look at, right? Yeah. So in NS India, I'm going to the market data and I'm going to indices. So I get my broad indices. What are all the broad index? Be it your Nifty 50, Nifty Next 50, everything. Similarly, I get my bank Nifty, auto, financial services, FMCG, IT, pharma, everything. Right? So what I will do here, let's observe on a daily time frame, and I'll be changing this period also to 123 days period. So I wanted to check Nifty PSU Bank, right? Nifty PSU Bank. So I've selected Nifty PSU Banking Index versus Nifty 50, right? Versus Nifty 50. So PSU Banking Index has been stronger than your Nifty 50 from a very long period, almost from August. It has been stronger. And even right now, if you see, right, it has been good. And even you can check the relative strength of PSU Banking Index with respect to Nifty 50 for the last 1 month also. Like if I select the 1 month period here, right, this is how the last 1 month, the strength of public sector unit banking index in the last 3 months, right? So it is right now consolidating at Nifty 50, right? And similarly, sir, I wanted to look at Nifty Pharma, right? I wanted to look at Nifty Pharma as an overall index, right? As an overall index. So Nifty Pharma, yes, relatively on a short time frame with respect to overall benchmark, it is stronger than Nifty 50. IT index, right? Nifty IT. Yeah, this is your Nifty IT index. So IT wise, with respect to Nifty, it has been weak, right? It is not RS positive. It is not relative strength positive. So if you are looking at adding more into the IT related stocks, we should be little bit more cautious than aggressively entering, because the entire index itself is under caution, right? Is under caution. And even you can replicate this as well, right? Replicate this as well. So you can load your stock here, and instead of Nifty 50, you can load your IT index also, right? IT. For example, let me analyze a company like Birla Soft, right? I'm just taking an example. We are analyzing a stock like Birla Soft. So you can compare Birla Soft with respect to Nifty 50 below, or you change here as Nifty IT, right? Nifty IT, and you select OK. So within the IT index, you are confused, sir, should I enter into Birla Soft? Should I enter into KPIT? Should I enter into Infosys? Should I enter into Wipro, right? You can load your stock here, and you can load your particular sectoral index there, right? Sectoral index there, right? Yeah, if you wanted to compare Birla Soft with Nifty 50, you can again bring it back to your Nifty 50 index, and you can just select OK. Now the question comes, right? Now the question comes, sir, yes, I'm able to observe pharma index relative strength with Nifty, IT index with Nifty, right? Maybe auto index with Nifty. But what about certain stocks in a sector where in TradingView that index itself is not there, right? Index itself is not there. So how many of you have this question? Let me know below. How many of you have this question? For example, right? Let me show you. So Nifty 50 is the base here. Now, yes, Nifty FMCG. I have an index here, right? I can compare Nifty IT. Yes, I have an index here, right? Nifty private sector bank. Yes, I have a index for Nifty Bank, Nifty Private Banking Index, and even Nifty PSU Index, right? Let's suppose I wanted to check a defense related companies, sir. Where is the index? How can I check the defense sector strength with respect to the overall benchmark, right? I'm really interested to know where I can check that. Even similarly, sir, I wanted to look at pharma, right? I wanted to look at pharma. Pharma, you have an index, Nifty Pharma, Infra, Nifty Infra. Similarly, Nifty Railways, I wanted to look at. So what you can do, let me share my screen. We will pick up all the companies within that specific sector, right? Let's say in your nseindia.com, if you wanted to look at all the oil and gas related companies, right? Oil and gas related companies. So you wanted to check the overall relative strength of that sector with respect to Nifty 50. So these are all the companies here. You can compare in TradingView, or sir, I wanted to look for consumer durables. You click here and you get all the list of companies here, like your Amber, VGuard, Dixon, right? All these things you get here. Similarly, in your screener platform, right? In screener platform, if you go to screens, right? You go to screens here, you have all your sectors here, right? You can browse all your major sectors. Within the sectors, what are the stocks you can browse? So let me go to aerospace and defense. Sir, I wanted to look at the overall strength of defense related companies as on date, right? So these are all the companies, be it your Hindustan Aeronautics, Bharat Electronics, Solar Industries, BDL, Cochin Shipyard, right? Your MTAR Technologies, all Paras Defense, all of these are into the defense space. So I'll be going back to a TradingView, right? I'll be going back to TradingView. And now what I will do, I will select the stock HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, right? So what did we study till now? Hindustan Aeronautics Limited strength with respect to Nifty 50, you know by now, right? Yes. On a 123 days on a daily time frame, yes, HAL is relatively stronger than Nifty 50. Now I wanted to compare the entire defense as a sector. So what we will do, observe carefully. I will enter HAL here and I will add. What you will do, you will just click on plus symbol, right? You just click on plus symbol on your keyboard and I will be adding solar industries here, right? Solar industries. So when I select solar industries, yes, NSE solar industries, I select that. Again, I use a plus symbol. I'll be adding Mesogon Dock, right? Yeah, Mesogon Dock Shipbuilders Limited, NSE, I'll be adding. Again, I will be clicking on plus symbol. Cochin Shipyard, right? Yeah, Cochin Shipyard, I wanted to add. So Cochin Shipyard, NSE, I've added. Again, I've clicked on plus symbol. I'll be adding here BDL, Bharat Dynamics Limited. I'll be clicking on, you can add as many number of stocks you wanted to add, you can add, right? Now what you will do after you have added all the stocks, click on enter symbol, right? Click on enter symbol. So what happened here? Instead of analyzing one stock with the overall Nifty 50, you are analyzing all the stocks within that particular sector, which is HAL, Solar Industry, Mesogon, Cochin Shipyard, BDL. You can even add your data patterns, your BEL. You can further add your MTR technology. You can further add and click on enter. So this price reflects the overall strength of the entire defense sector. And this particular line shows you the relative strength of the entire particular defense sector with respect to Nifty 50. So yes, now you are analyzing the overall strength of defense with respect to the benchmark. And now, sir, every time I do not wanted to do this exercise of adding and doing it. So what you can do, you create a watch list. So what I will do, I'll click here and I'll click on create new list. And what I will do, other sectors, I'll be naming a list as other sectors and I will save it, right? I'll save it. Okay. So I've just created a watch list for other sectors. Okay. And this is a particular layout which I have created for the defense. So what I will do, I'll click on the right side, right? I right click on the chart. There is an option of add HAL, right? Solar Industries Mesogon. So this particular option, I'll be clicking here on other sectors, right? Other sectors. So what happened just now, in your watch list, you have added this particular sector here. So let me go back and let's say I'm analyzing ICICI Bank here, or I'm analyzing any other stock, right? And now again, I wanted to go back and check defense sector strength. So I'll be going back to my other sectors folder and I'll be selecting HAL. So you have got the entire defense sector overall relative strength you have got. Similarly, sir, I wanted to check on the railway as a sector. So you have added RVNL. Select RVNL here, right? Yeah. So you have added RVNL and click on plus symbol. You add your IRFC. Select IRFC. Click on plus symbol. Select your IRCTC. Click on plus symbol. Railtel Corporation of India Limited, right? Whatever stocks you wanted to add it in the list. And after adding, you have to click on enter. That is how all the stocks which you have added will be loaded at a time, right? So I've clicked on enter. So what happened? All your railway sector stocks have been added here and it is showing you the relative strength. And what I will do in order to keep this watch list ready in my layout, I will right click here and there is an option of add RVNL, IRCTC, IRFC to watch list. You go and select your other sectors here, right? So yes, it will be coming here. You want to check your entire defense, you can check here, entire railways. This is how you need to check. So you'll be checking the overall strength of the sectors, right? If you already have a particular sector, for example, Nifty Auto, sir, I wanted to check the entire Nifty Auto Index. It is already loaded. You have a CNX Auto Index here. You can already load. So certain sectors which are not there, you can create it and add it into your watch list, right? Add it into your watch list. So that's why I always say having a TradingView account is very important because that is very powerful. And someone who are like beginners or even very new to the finance or investments or very new to the trading you are starting, this is the power of technical analysis. And even if you're a complete beginner, you start learning it, there is a very good cognizance you can make out of your technical. So just instead of fundamental way of analyzing, I want you to wear a technical hat in order to take the best use of understanding which are the stronger companies in the market, right? If you have loved this discussion or this is the first time you have observed these things, type love below or type it as mind blowing below, right? If you have really loved this and practice it more, I'm sure it will be helping you a lot, right?